How and why did I get into this work? It is in my bones. I love teens, and I love this stage of life that we call adolescence. It's rich, fascinating, dynamic, it's full of growth and possibilities, adventures, challenges and struggles, creativity, heart and soul. We know all young people need caring adults in their lives in order to grow up well into adulthood. I've come to believe that we adults also need young people in our lives in order to thrive. I've seen how well we all do when connected across generations in genuine, meaningful, respectful, appreciative ways. While young, I benefited greatly from having many caring adults in my life who provided many opportunities for healthy development. Probably not terminology that was used back then, but understood intuitively, if not from formal learning. And thanks to those caring adults, some of them young adults, some of my peers and I were able to be doing key things that now, those of us who work in this field, we understand that all young people need these things while growing up. Gisela Konopka described the opportunities that all young people need, and I'd like to just share with you these things because they're so clearly the things that I had wrapped around me as a young person, and I hope you guys did too. The opportunity to participate as a citizen, to be part of a group, to have a voice, to have responsibilities, to be accountable to oneself and to others, to gain experience in decision-making, to interact with peers and acquire a sense of belonging, to have time to reflect on self in relation to others, to experience and discuss conflicting values and to develop one's own value system, to experiment with one's identity, relationships, and ideas without having to irrevocably commit. And finally, to be able to cultivate a capacity to enjoy life. In grad school, I was thrilled to discover Gisela Konopka's writing. She became a key intellectual force and role model for me, giving words, theory, framework, and examples from her own incredible life in how she thought about and engaged with young people. As a teen and a young adult, I was immersed in youth work. And then I grew up and figured it was time to do adult work. During my first grad school term, a simple twist of fate catapulted me back into the world of young people. I landed a temporary job at Common Health Clinic in Stillwater, taking over for a health educator on maternity leave, and I clearly didn't listen well in the interview. I thought I was hired to do adult health education work with women. I quickly learned that most of the job was to teach and work with teens, and quite honestly, I was dismayed. This was not my adult path. You know, I'd been there, I'd done that. But to my great surprise, I loved being with, teaching and working with teens, and I never looked back. So why do I do this work and keep doing it? Well, it feeds my soul. It satisfies an itch I have to be challenged, to be growing, to be learning. It speaks to the need I have to do something meaningful with my life. And being of support and help to young people delights me. And learning with them and from them delights me. What keeps me passionate about this work? Ask almost any young person how they think adults feel about them. And the answers are too often along these lines. They don't like us. They don't respect us. They seem afraid of us. They expect the worst of us just because we're the age we are. And I think for a lot of us in this room, that breaks our hearts. It certainly breaks my heart. Young people are often socially isolated in our communities, and that doesn't serve anyone well. Social isolation, we know, can lead to the kind of dangerous risk-taking that can really be detrimental to one's health, well-being, and safety, and to that of others. So I feel compelled to work to change that social norm, to shift our culture, to be inclusive and appreciative of young people. I can say with gratitude that I've worked on many meaningful things in my career, and the most pleasurable and meaningful things are those that have allowed me to be with and get to know young people through teaching, mentoring, collaborating on projects. One of the most amazing initiatives I have been a part of, which has been referred to, is the Wakancha Project. It began about 8 years or so ago as a St. Paul Ramsey County Public Health Violence Prevention effort. And as we've heard, Wakancha is the Dakota word for child and translates into English as sacred being. And as my colleague likes to say, whether the child is in the child seat or driving the car, all our children are sacred beings. Gabrielle Strong, who named the Wakancha Project, once said something I would like you to just pause for a moment and think about. She said, if we were to treat our children, young people, and one another as sacred beings, as Wakancha, what a different kind of world we would create and live in. Just think about that. My part of the Wakancha Project is especially with people and places that want to create more welcoming interactions and environments with and for young people. Oftentimes this happens by seemingly simple things like being genuinely friendly and interested in them, learning names, taking time to listen, being kind. Many young people don't have much kindness, joy, inclusion, and respect in their lives. We adults, each one of us, has the power and the capacity to create welcoming interactions and environments